Jerry, this has become something of a political football.
Well, it has been, and I guess nobody should be surprised in a year, campaign year, in which everything seems to become a political football. This anniversary is as well. It's become that in part because of an ad that the Obama campaign has put together, kind of celebrating the death of Osama bin Laden and President Obama's role in making that happen, but also questioning whether Mitt Romney would have made the same decision. That has set off a war of words in the last 24 hours between the two campaigns, in which Mitt Romney says, of course I would have done it. Even Jimmy Carter would have given that order. With the Obama campaign through that ad saying essentially, well, not so fast. You questioned in 2007 when candidate Barack Obama was saying, if I had a shot at him in Pakistan, I'll go get him. Mitt Romney said that was an inappropriate comment, and so there you have the war of words and the beginning of it.
Yeah, let's listen to exactly what Mitt Romney said 4 years ago. Pretentious words at the time.
Governor, would you have gone after bin Laden?
Of course. You would have given the order, Governor? Of course.
Is the criticism from the Obama campaign unfair?
Given that order. Thank you.
Well, Jerry, is it fair to politicize this event? I mean, it was seen at the time, of course, as one of our great national triumphs, certainly a national security vindication.
Well, I think that it's questionable, whether this is being politicized unfairly or not. John McCain, who was a Republican opponent in 2008, obviously has said quite vociferously, quite bluntly in the last few days, he thinks the Obama administration is politicizing it. On the other hand, you have to admit that it was a big moment in not just the Obama presidency, but in the history of the country. And the one-year anniversary was inevitably going to be recognized. We in the media were all going to take a note of that without fail. And so I think, as I said, in a campaign year, everything gets politicized. I think the real question is whether the campaign ad the Obama administration has produced, the Obama campaign has produced, goes over a line of some kind. And that's going to be the subject of a debate all of its own.
Yeah, Jerry, let's talk about that. The tonality of the Obama celebration, if you will, does it seem in keeping with the magnitude of the event?
Well, I do think it was such a big event that you couldn't ignore it. Inevitably, people are going to look back and remember that. Now, clearly the Obama White House is playing along with that. They gave Time Magazine enormous access, for example, to do a kind of a reconstruction of the president's decision. The president himself has given an interview that's airing this week with NBC News and Brian Williams, recounting how that day came about. If this were not an election year, I think people would say, well, that's kind of what you'd expect. They're taking a victory lap 1 year later. This year, because it's an election year, people say, well, they're taking a victory lap 1 year later, and that's because they want to turn it into a campaign issue. I think the underlying reality here, Bob, is something that it was going to be true no matter what, which is that national security is not a giant issue in this campaign, certainly not compared to the economy. And President Obama has done enough, and particularly because of the death of Osama bin Laden, to kind of neutralize that traditional problem for Democrats. Normally at this stage in the campaign, a Democratic candidate is trying to show that he's tough enough to be president. Well, this president is saying, I've been tough enough because I've shown it as president. Slightly different campaign debate, but this is not the central issue of the campaign no matter what.